What's good, y'all? It's your boy Soldaya, and today we're going to be reacting to bullying stereotypes make no sense. But without any time waste, let's get right into the video.
When I was a kid, every movie, show, or book taking place in a school had all of these bullying stereotypes that made no sense and I never saw when I went to school. The first stereotype that doesn't make sense to me is people getting bullied for wearing glasses and braces. I don't know if this
I don't know. I wonder that too. Like, where did that even come from? It's like every single American movie. You wear glasses, you have braces, you're looked at as a nerd, just getting bullied for absolutely no reason. I just don't get that.
This was just me, but growing up, I was always jealous of kids that wore glasses and had braces. Unfortunately, I was cursed with 20/20 vision and straight teeth, but when I saw these kids with their cool glasses frames and their colorful braces, I straight up felt like I was in an RPG with wood armor and everyone else was dripped out to the max.
This is the first guy I have ever heard say he would rather have glasses and braces. First guy ever.
Also, every time I'm watching a show and someone's getting bullied for wearing glasses, the go-to insult is four eyes.
Arthur's a four eyes. Arthur's a four eyes.
Legit, dead ass, bro. Every single movie you're gonna watch, like let's say early 2000s, right? If there's a kid getting bullied, he's always wearing glasses, and they're gonna be calling them, hey, four eyes, four eyes. What are you doing there? That's my lunch money you got there, bro. That's dead ass how all the movies be.
Like, seriously, that's the best y'all could come up with? If you wear glasses, how do you even take offense to someone calling you four eyes? Like, that's the weakest insult I've ever heard. And insults for braces aren't much better. Metal mouth? That actually sounds super intimidating. It sounds like a nickname for a heavyweight boxer.
Funny enough, I might be tripping or I might just not be cultured, but I don't really remember much like movies or TV shows when they call the kid like metal mouth. I don't know, it's usually four eyes, dork, and just shit like that, bro. I don't really remember metal mouth. That's a new one.
That exclusively wears grills. And I'm sure back when people wore headgear and had super dorky glasses, they got made fun of, but that was dinosaur times. Like, glasses and braces have been cool for like at least 15 years. Another stereotype that makes no sense to me was like when kids would get made fun of for doing well in school. Like, you know what I'm talking about? In movies and shows.
Okay, this one, I feel like it was just cause, it's just an insecurity type of thing. They're just like, ah, shit, he's doing really well in school and I'm not, bro. Let me make fun of him. Let me make him feel like shit cause, I'm not doing well at school.
They'd be the Ben Shapiro looking kids that would try super hard in their classes, and then they'd get made fun of for caring about their grades and future. I'm pretty sure this stereotype is based on like no real world evidence. Like, when I grew up, the most popular kids were also really good students. It's just that they didn't look like this. They just look like...
I don't know about no real world evidence, bro. I've seen like plenty of times back in like school or something, people who are like, not so smart or like straight up, they was dumb. They used to bully the kids who were like, always studying all the time, calling them lame, just doing shit like that. That happened to my school. That happened in my school personally, but I don't know about other schools.
Normal kids. You know it's possible to have a high GPA while also dressing well and not being a socially awkward weirdo? I'm pretty sure intelligence has always been celebrated throughout history. Like, I have no clue where this came from. If there's any unks watching this video...
Yo, is that Duke Dennis? Yo, I remember this picture, bro. Duke back in the day. Yo, this actually kills me.
So please comment down below if there was ever a time in history when people got made fun of for trying in school. Also, I think we've become super liberal with the use of the word bullying. Like, sometimes it's not bullying, but just teenagers being teenagers. When I was in middle school, kids would just call each other the most vile insults. Like, the lunch table was basically just a COD lobby, but...
Yo, I don't know if y'all did this, but when I was in like middle school, right? We used to have like all these like roast battles. I even had a roast battle with my teacher. Yo, those are some fun days, bro. We used to like insult each other all the time. I remember one time I called my teacher's dick small. What? Keep in mind, this was like in grade 6 or something. Because we were all making like diss tracks to each other, right? Me, the teacher, some friends. It was low-key fun days.
I wouldn't consider it bullying because everyone was participating. In a weird sense, it was kind of wholesome. I grew up in a pretty diverse place, but the only thing that really annoyed me about middle school was that we'd have these roast battles in the middle of class where everyone would just go around roasting each other's ethnic stereotypes.
He knows about the roast battles, bro. The good old days. I'm making myself sound like Unk, even though I'm only 20. Literally turned 20 this year.
Stereotypes, which that part alone is fun. But my problem was most 12-year-olds' geographical knowledge was awful. Like, I'm of Indian descent, but people would roast me using Middle Eastern stereotypes, and I kind of had to like hold their hand while they were roasting me and give them a geography lesson like, no, don't roast me for that, roast me for this.
That would have been funny, bro. The kids in middle school thinking India is like Egypt or something, being like, go ride in your camel or some shit, bro. Funny enough, I've actually heard that before back when I was in middle school. I don't even know how I remember this, but I just do.
The next stereotype that makes no sense to me would be all of the ways bullies torment their victims in media. Like, let's start out with the most iconic, the wedgie. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yo, I'm sorry, bro. The wedgie to me, like, if you were actually giving people wedgies, you got to get yourself checked out, bro. There must be something like, maybe something you hiding in the closet because that's zesty. That's sus. That's weird. going out of your way to like pull another man's like pants up. I don't know, bro. That's just kind of weird, bro. Maybe there's something you're not telling us.
If you're a dude and someone wedgies you and you just take that and do nothing about it, maybe you deserve to get wedgied, bro. Like if
no, like both of y'all are weird, bro. The guy getting wedgied and like the guy doing the wedgie in, bro.
If I ever have a son and he gets wedgied, I'm going to tell him he is obligated to start throwing hands immediately. No matter how much bigger the kid is, you simply cannot take that. I personally never saw anyone get wedgied during my time in school, and I think it's because most guys know that if they try that on another dude, they're not just gonna take that lying down like there's some nerd in a TV show. Now let's move on to stuffing kids in lockers. Bro, what?
No, y'all need to tell me in like the comments or something. Did this actually happen in real life where people actually being stuffed into lockers? Because I've really only seen those in like TV shows and movies and shit, right? But I've never once seen that in real life. Never.
My high school didn't have any lockers, and in middle school the lockers were too small to stuff anybody in. But I'm gonna be real, even in places with full-size lockers, I doubt anyone's actually getting stuffed in a locker. Like, you know how hard it would be to shove someone into a locker and then try to
No, I'm saying, bro, like, unless you're like really skinny, really small, it would be hard. But I mean, I guess it depends on the lockers though.
Close the door on them. If you get stuffed in a locker, you probably want to, bro. Then we got...
No, I'm saying, bro, like the only way you can be stuffed into a locker is if you want to, bro. You must like being stuffed into tight places for whatever reason, bro. Like, this just be weird.
Swirlies, which is like bordering on a CIA level human rights violation. I've never heard of anyone getting swirlied, but if that happened to you...
I don't take that seriously, bro. The swirly. Y'all just be coming up with the most insane names, bro. Like, who back in the early 2000s or like the 90s, wherever this originated, sat down just like, you know what? I'm gonna put someone's face into the toilet and flush it. And I'm gonna call it a swirly. Like what?
Like, I genuinely feel bad for you. Like, that's actually messed up. But it's so mythically evil that it's hard for me to believe that it was ever, like, a predominant bullying tactic. Now let's talk about...
I truly don't think the swirly was a real thing, because ain't no way someone is, like, pushing your head into a toilet and flushing that shit, and you letting that happen. Like, I just can't, bro. No way that was a real life thing.
Hornets. If you don't know what hornets are, they're basically when you roll...
The fuck is a hornet?
A piece of paper super tightly and then wrap it with tape, and then with a rubber band you launch this lethal projectile at unsuspecting classmates. I remember I must have been 8 when my older brother showed me what a hornet was. He asked me to take off my shirt.
I'm sorry, I've never heard of a hornet. Never in my life, bro.
and turn around, and at point blank range, he launched a hornet at my back at full force. At that moment, I fully understood why they called it a hornet, because it left a red mark on my back for 2 weeks. Safe to say, I showed all of my friends at school what a hornet was after that, and we'd play this game where we'd launch hornets at each other in class while the teacher was talking in an attempt to get each other to scream randomly in class. And I'm telling you, there is nothing funnier than one of your friends going, "Ah!" in the middle of class while the teacher is going over the Pythagorean theorem. But back to
This never happened in my middle school, bro. I'm sorry. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Hornets. Never heard about that in my life.
bullying. No one gets bullied harder in school than the teachers. Like, I definitely had some teachers I didn't
No, I can't lie, bro. Back in middle school, we were so ruthless to the teachers. I actually felt bad.
like, but geez, some kids would say the most vile stuff about teachers because they got a bad grade or got assigned some extra homework. And I think because kids are just evil.
One time, there was some students that made the teacher literally cry. Like, she wanted to resign so bad. Like, I was like, damn, bruh. Like, I felt so bad, but at the same time, what the things they were saying was so funny. So I just felt bad for laughing, you know? But at the same time, just felt bad for the teacher. Because the teacher crying over some, like, 12-year-old kids is insane.
By nature and don't feel empathy for their fellow man, they'll just create rumors about their teachers that are just way too out of pocket and borderline should be illegal to say that about someone. I remember some kids found out my 8th grade basketball coach got a DUI, and within hours his mugshot was all over Snapchat. People were roasting him so hard, and the craziest part was he was completely oblivious to it. No one would speak of it to his face, so as far as he was concerned, no one knew about it.
Damn, that's actually crazy, bruh.
Being a teacher is kind of scary because you got to know that a lot of your students are just going to be Googling your information online because kids kind of have no boundaries.
No, that's what I'm saying, bro. Because back in high school, we used to find out like a lot of things about teachers, seeing their social media, just stalking them, bro. Not me. I never really cared to do all that, bro. I was too lazy to do all that. But other kids would find out so much information about their teachers, bro. I'd be thinking, yo, do we not have any time on our hands? Well, at the same time, we really didn't have any time on our hands because we're in middle school. What are we supposed to be doing in middle school? Other than like homework and shit, but you know.
Speaking of boundaries, you know what's boundless? Space. And you know what's in space? Stars. And you know what happens on stars? Wars. And you know who likes Star Wars? Nerd. Everybody. Because for the past decade or so, nerd culture is cool. I think this is the only bullying stereotype that has any sort of actual validity behind it. For a long time, people with nerdy obsessions were ostracized from society.
No, trust me, I know, bro, because when I was younger and even now, I used to really love anime, right? Well, like Naruto, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, like I love them all. You can even see the Zoro poster behind me. But like, yeah, I used to... Anime like was the move, and back then it wasn't really like if you fucked with anime back then you were looked at as like weird, a weirdo. But now, ever since this whole epidemic that like anime is cool now, everyone switched up and now everyone loves anime. But hey, W me, bro, everyone loves anime now. But back in the day, we used to have it so hard. Us OG anime lovers. If you were an OG anime lover, you will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Like, you know those soy kids that are super into like Battlestar Galactica despite knowing like nothing about astronomy and have a physique that makes them look like they'd pass out from walking up a staircase? For a long time, I'm sure those type of kids were ostracized from the other kids at school. I mean, anime didn't even become mainstream in the West until like the last 10 years.
Like I'm saying, bro.
These days you literally have
goddamn.
rappers from Houston cosplaying. I wonder how nerds who grew up in the late 2000s feel. Like, you guys just missed out on being cool. Like, these days, if you play Minecraft and watch anime, you're definitely gonna find friends. And if you're not hideous, you can probably find a girlfriend also. If you graduated in like 2010, 2011, you just missed out on being cool.
No, like, if you back then, you would be so cooked for like an anime, but now, well, oh, you like anime? Ooh, let's be friends, bro. Yeah, I love anime too. You know, my favorite anime is Demon Slayer. Oh my gosh, bro. Back then we had it hard. Us OG anime lovers.
Like, I graduated in 2023, and one of the kids I knew in high school that pulled the most played a...
Oh shit, yo. We graduated at the same time. I graduated in 2023 too. W.
Valorant all day and was like 5'5". Society has like completely culturally shifted in like the last 7 years or so. School hierarchies don't exist anymore. That's why I never understood these rich high school shows. Like, I can make an entire video about this, but I think you know what I'm talking about. You know, these shows where the rich, popular teens at school navigate the hardships of being rich, popular, and attractive in upper class America. Like, bro, who is actually relating to this?
No, I'm saying, bro, like, who is relating to this? And it's so common too, like all these like stereotypes of movies. I don't know who's related to this.
And follow me on Instagram. I'm posting there once we hit 20,000.
But yeah, though, seems like that's the end of this video. It was a pretty entertaining video if I don't say so myself. But anyways, though, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.